overall mission that we have in improving quality of life is to bring together the resources within the African American community itself, coupled with resources, supports that we can from the broader community to improve quality of life in a number of issue areas.
4 years into this work, and with nearly $60 million in grant funds being awarded to nonprofits in this community, we know that impacts are taking place.
The IAAQLI grant has been more than just a step towards a license. It's been a lifeline that embodies true community partnership.
The support from IAAQLI has had an unbelievable effect on the work that we do here. Most recently received a grant that allowed us to partner with Eastern Star Church to build a new construction training center.
How do we get the healthy eating part according to their culture, to their taste? So you're seeing that the benefit of these many years of partnership, without that grant, we can't do it.
6 Pillars in Action podcast, where we take an in-depth look at the incredible work of the IAAQLI, or the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative.
When you look at the overall mission of the Quality of Life Initiative, I mean, that's really what the end game for Flanner House is.
Individuals that are African American and have a disability are the highest unemployed in Marion County. So I thought it was a great opportunity for us to bring awareness, but also to try to help make a difference or bring impact.
IAAQLI has made a huge difference in the lives of residents of the Near West.
We know that $100 million has the ability to tell an effective story. We also know that in some cases it can be used very quickly in any of our pillars. And so we wanted to take this opportunity to tell a collective story. The change is we have the opportunity to create incremental change if continued investment occurs.
In order to address social impacts and the challenges facing African Americans, it forces you to address education, employment, entrepreneurship, health, housing, and also how we look at our people, our community, and our neighborhoods from a civic leadership and community development standpoint. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tony Mason, President and CEO of the Indianapolis Urban League, and I also serve as co-director of the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative. And I want to thank you for joining us today for this very special announcement. Today, we are officially launching the 4th and final round of funding for the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative, an initiative grounded in community, driven by equity, and powered by partnership. Since 2021, the IAAQLI has invested over $60 million into organizations and initiatives across Indianapolis and Marion County. And today, we're proud to announce that over $29 million more in investments will be made to fuel 2-year projects from now through December of 2027. This journey began with collaboration between the Indianapolis Urban League, the National Urban League, and the African American Coalition of Indianapolis. Together, we built a process grounded in listening, community forums, stakeholder meetings, and targeted research to understand what matters most to our community, to have a better understanding of the needs of our community. We are also deeply grateful to the Lilly Endowment, whose historic $100 million commitment to this initiative made today and every round of funding possible. And to our partners at the National Urban League, thank you for your strategic support and for serving as the fiscal agents of this work. And now I'm going to kick it to my co-director, the co-director of the IAAQLI, Mr. Willis Bright.
Good afternoon. I'm Willis Bright, Chair of the African American Coalition of Indianapolis and co-chair of the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative. We've been so pleased to have your support and your encouragement over the 5 years that we have been conducting this initiative. But we're also very aware that this is a time-limited project and that it will be coming to close in the next couple of years. Therefore, in making our final grant round, we wanted to assure that we had projects that were ready to go with organizations that had experience, with organizations that had contacts within the community, and organizations that might have the best chance of being funded by others within the community. Therefore, we decided to have a two-prong approach. We would have an open round that would invite multiple organizations to apply to respond to requests for proposals in the areas of business and entrepreneurship, education, employment, housing, health and wellness, and leadership and civic engagement. We would also invite some organizations to apply at a later point. Why would we make a distinction? Those that would be invited would be organizations that we've observed, we've known, either through their reports, through comments that have been made by many of you in the community as to the good work that they're doing, and would have the best chance of achieving the outcomes that would improve quality of life. So with that as background, Dr. Carlin Tishner, our Director of Operations, will give you the specifics for the open round, which is available to all groups that can meet the qualifications to address the projects in that request for proposals. Dr. Tishner?
Thank you, Willis. It is certainly a pleasure for me to provide an overview of the strategies for round 4 as our last final round. Today I'll share each pillar as well as the specific strategies associated with those pillars and the total allocation amount. It is important to note that everything that I will be sharing today is available on our website at www.IAAQLI.org under the Funding Opportunities tab. It is available for your review, download, and deep understanding of each of the strategies as well as our objectives for this last final round. First, I want to discuss business and entrepreneurship. A total allocation of $2.5 million is available for this final round across 2 strategies. Strategies 1's focus is to develop startup loan funds for organizations in the business arena, specifically nonprofits who are supporting those businesses to have access to capital can address important critical needs within the organization as it grows and scales. Likewise, in strategy 2, we will be addressing growth and expansion of mature businesses. We recognize that across the chasm of businesses, there needs to be an investment in early stage businesses as well as businesses that have demonstrated longevity. Our final investments will address both types of businesses, increasing capacity and access to capital. The next pillar is education. In this open round for education, there is $1 million across 2 strategies. The first strategy is focusing on culturally relevant curriculum and the integration of African American history. We recognize at this present moment there needs to be an investment in organizations that support and partner with K-12 schools to continue to address and educate our young people on cultural and ethnic identity. And this fund allows those organizations to have access to dollars to increase their capacity to serve our young people in that way. And the second strategy is comprehensive literacy development for all ages. We know that the science of reading is most relevant right now for young people, and at the same time, we also know that some parents struggle to have access to literacy. We also define literacy not only in my ability to read, but also financial literacy and other types of literacy, including technology. This fund will allow nonprofit organizations to strategically develop projects and programs to address literacy at all ages, not limited to academic literacy. The next pillar is employment. We will have $2.5 million available in this open round, covering 2 specific strategies. Our goal has always been in employment to increase the minimum wage up to around $18 per hour, as stated by a local Brookings Institute around quality of life requirements. A minimum of $18 per hour is necessary. And so we've wanted to grow that primary dollar figure while also supporting organizations to grow access to technical skill development for Black residents in Indianapolis and Marion County. So our first strategy is to support comprehensive career preparation. Every aspect of career development, our goal is to support nonprofit organizations to ensure technical skill development is present in Black residents. As well as strategy 2, which is really around technology and understanding how to leverage technology in a career exploration capacity so that individuals don't reach a ceiling and that their skills can allow them to develop access to long-term, high-wage paying jobs and careers. The next pillar is health and wellness. In health and wellness, we have a total of $900,025. And the goal of that strategy is two-pronged. We recognize that there needs to be an increase in mental health support for both Black women and Black men. And so we have a strategy addressing both of those communities. One, maternal health and wellness. The intent is to reduce comorbidity for mothers, especially those of early children, early infants. And our goal is to create funding to support education, resource, and comprehensive wraparound services for those mothers and those children. And our second strategy is really around increasing access to mental health services for Black men. We recognize that vulnerability is limited, in some cases access to services, and even the pursuit of services is limited. And so we want to increase access to those resources, reducing the stigma of mental health, and ensuring that Black men have the necessary mental health and psychosocial services that they need in our community. The next one is housing and home ownership. This strategy has one primary strategy, and the goal is to maintain affordable housing and retention of home ownership and the enhancement of housing stock so that we can create and sustain neighborhood stabilization. This is around homeowner repair opportunities. And so for any nonprofit organization who wants to invest in homeowner repair, rehabilitation, and neighborhood stabilization, this request for proposal is for you. And then last but certainly not least is leadership and civic engagement. This pillar will have another $2.5 million available across 3 primary strategies. Our primary focus for this pillar has always been and continues to be growing the capacity of leadership in nonprofit spaces, both at the senior office level as well as board leadership, and then also introducing young people into leadership opportunities. And so the 3 strategies accomplish that end. First, comprehensive leadership development for Black and African American youth. Second, expanding civic engagement and public policy participation. And finally, strengthening the pathway to public service, philanthropy, and the effect management of Black-led community organizations. Together, each of these pillars and the aforementioned strategies will get us closer to improving the quality of life for African Americans in our city and county. Next, I want to talk about just a few specific things that every applicant and would-be grantee needs to understand. First, the application process. Of course, we've launched the RFPs and they are available online at our website to download and review in detail. As you begin your review, you will note some specific application requirements. Included is the requirement to be a 501c3 certified organization, to have documented insurance coverage, as well as a 990 from the previous year. Any absence of these documents, as well as what is listed on the website in the checklist, will disqualify applicants from moving forward in the application process. It is important to note that your application will be submitted through our grants management system, Smarter Select, and that we will provide an opportunity from today through the 14th to submit any questions to info@IAAQLI.org, and by the following week, the posts for those questions and the answers available will be made on the website. And now we're going to discuss the evaluation criteria for successful applications. Again, all detail is available on the website in each of the requests for proposals, so please read thoroughly those expectations, but I'll highlight just a few options that you need to maintain a focus on. Number 1, eligibility. Number 2, alignment. Number 3, experience and capacity. And number 4, feasibility. Our intent and our goal is for you to review the extent to which you are eligible for each of the requests for proposals and the strategies listed therein. You must also articulate your alignment, your project focus to the strategy that you are applying for. You must demonstrate experience and capacity to address the requirements of each strategy. And you also must discuss your feasibility to accomplish the goal of completing the 2-year project by the end of December 2027. Please again review the request for proposals in detail to learn more. And finally, we'll close out with the review process and awards. As Willis Bright mentioned, every applicant will have an opportunity to have 3 reviewers for the applications that are submitted. If you are eligible and you move past the initial round, you will be reviewed by those reviewers and you will have an opportunity to be scored objectively according to your submission. Next, we will have IAAQLI submit the recommendations to the National Urban League, who is the primary grantee. They will then provide their decision, and locally we will make the award publicly within 6 weeks of today. Grants approved and contracts signed and announcement of grant awardees by the National Urban League will occur thereafter, which is the contract that the grantees will be under. And then finally, the presentation, the public presentation will occur, where we will invite those selected grantees to receive their formal acknowledgement at that time. I want to close out with the timeline. It is available on our website as well, so I'll be brief in my comments. Number 1, today is the announcement. By July 14th, please submit any written questions to IAAQLI through info@iaqli.org. IUL posts and answers will occur by July 21st. And all submissions are due on August 11th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And finally, awards will be announced by October 10th, 2025. We are excited for your opportunity to partner with us in this final round of funding, and we certainly wish you well as you submit your application soon. Thank you. And I'll now transition over to Mr. Willis Bright.
As we close, we want to thank you again for your support for all the years that we have been operating the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative. Please know, as we leave this community, we hope we are leaving it better than we found it 5 years ago. Please know that all proposals, whether they come from the open round or invitational, will be reviewed in the same way for their impact, for their quality, for their ability to make a difference, and for their ability to make you a better citizen by the things that they are able to do to improve quality of life in this community of Indianapolis and Marion County. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to your applications in the near future.
Thank you again to all of our partners, the Indianapolis Urban League, the National Urban League, the African American Coalition of Indianapolis. We also want to thank the community for its input that led to the priorities and strategies for this initiative. We want to thank current grantees who have been doing incredible work over the past 5 years on the initiative. And of course, we want to thank prospective applicants who will submit applications during this round. And it goes without saying, this incredible work would not be possible without an amazing team. So I also want to thank the IAAQLI team, as well as our amazing partners with Front Runner Media for helping to make today possible. Together, we are building a stronger, more equitable Indianapolis, one investment at a time. Let's get to work.